Hey guys, okay, so this should be a piece of cake after my live video that I just did. Okay, so the point of this video is to just give you a little bit of an idea of my reasoning for putting this packet together and my expectations. First of all, it is not mandatory. This packet is just something that I have created to encourage you to continue to use your brain and continue to practice math, but it is not for a grade and it is not mandatory. I highly suggest you do it, but it's not mandatory. Okay, so let's jump on in. Okay, so your first page is just a cover letter, just a little note from me, and it gives 2 websites that you can go check out if you need a refresher on any of the content in this packet that maybe you don't remember how to do. So that's the first page. And I kind of have, not a table of contents, but kind of another little message because, you know, I'm long-winded. So another message, and then this kind of lets you know what is in this package or packet. Also, it's encouraging you to log on to Education Galaxy. If you have the internet, and I believe it even works on smartphones, but if you have the internet, guys, I would really encourage you to get onto Education Galaxy. You know, if you don't do it every day, that's okay. But at least a few times a week, just jump on there. If you do not have 3 stars, just go to my study plan, the purple tab that we always go to. I don't assign anything. It's under the My Study Plan. Anything that you do not have 3 stars on, I suggest watching the mini lesson and going back through that lesson. And if you still do not get 3 stars, message me through Remind or our Facebook page, and I will find a way to do some kind of mini lesson with you. Because at this point, I want you guys to be mastering all of those. There's one TEK that we have not covered, and I believe it's 5.7, and it's on measurement conversion. All of the other TEKs we have covered. We were still practicing 2D figures, but we had spent a week on them before school was put on hold for a little bit. So please be getting on Education Galaxy if you have an opportunity. Also, I'm not sure if this will be in the packets that are emailed because I could not get this to be digital. I had to go to my classroom and get this out of my file cabinet. And so if you're getting your packet mailed to you, I'm thinking Miss Tracy's going to find a way to get it in there for you. But I sent this home weeks ago. It's a star review notes. And remember how cool it is? It has, oh, wrong paper. It has everything that we've gone over, like quick little notes. So it's like all my anchor charts in 2 beautiful papers. You should also have this hanging on your fridge because that is what I told you to do with it whenever I gave it to you not too long ago. There's a bug flying around, so excuse me. Okay, and then I'm just going to go page by page and explain my expectations. Although I've written it, you know, I'm long-winded, you know, I like to just explain and explain, so here we go. This first page is to practice order of operations. You guys have done a similar game to this. I think I sent you to Star Lab for it. So all that you're going to do is you're just going to cut these apart. You're going to cut them into strips. Don't cut off this column, okay? So these are the answers. You're going to cut them into strips, and you're going to put them face down, mix them up. You're going to look for the start. You're going to start with start. You're going to solve this equation, and then it's one of these answers. Easy enough, right? Then you're going to find that next strip who has that answer. And then you'll just lay them all back like this until you're at finish. Okay? Sounds good? So that's one way to practice your order of operations. And then after you do that and you get really bored, you can make your own. How cool would that be? And then you could even share it with me so I could maybe use it next year. That would be cool. Okay. So then your next page or your next item is practicing fractions. So this page in particular is you have improper and mixed numbers, and just know that I'm not an artiste in Word, and I did make these the best I can. So you're going to cut the rectangles out, and you're going to cut them along the line in the middle. Scramble them all up. Do see this improper fraction, 17/3. I want you to turn it into a mixed number, figure out what the mixed number is, and you should get 5 2/3. Okay, you need to be working this out on a piece of notebook paper or on a piece of scratch paper. Scratch paper. I don't want you just wasting your time and saying, oh, well, this one's cut out kind of like a triangle, so I'm going to look for the triangle. No, please do this, okay? It's super imperative that you understand and are comfortable with fractions for 6th grade, because you're going to be working with fractions all the time in the 6th grade, okay? And then the next paper, this is finding equivalent fractions, simplifying and finding equivalent fractions. And it's the same idea. It's a little puzzle, okay? So you'll just cut them out, kind of mix them all up on your table face down, and grab your first one. What is 1/2 equal to? Okay, sounds good. Oh, this one I made, I was kind of proud of myself. So this is multiplying decimals. Now, a lot of us need that little reminder that whenever you multiply decimals, you do not bring down your decimal. We see how many decimals are up top in our equation, and we count, right? Do y'all remember all that? If not, watch one of the videos on these websites, and it will remind you. So this, you're just solving the problem, solving the equation, and then I have made a little message to you down here. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. And then I did the same thing with dividing a decimal by a whole number. Okay, remember, if a decimal's in the house, raise it to the roof. Okay, and then you have a little, this one's not a message from me, this one's kind of like a corny little joke that you're trying to solve. Okay, so our next 4 pages is fraction work. Now, this, you can do this game, I guess, multiple times. You don't have to just one and done kind of thing. So you're going to cut out all of these beautiful fraction little cards that I made, and then the back page has some whole numbers. And I want you to use these. We've kind of done this in class. We did it with the dice, where you would roll 2 fraction dice, and then you would have to add or subtract them. And whenever we have fractions with unlike denominators, what do we have to do? We have to find a common denominator, right? So you have to create equivalent fractions, all that fun stuff. So basically, that's what you're going to do here. You're going to use these different fractions that I have to create equations for adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, multiplying fractions and whole numbers, dividing unit fractions by whole numbers, and so forth. I would encourage you to not try to do this all in one day. Do not try to do all of these in one day. Just do a few problems of each operation. You know what I mean? Just practice a little bit here and there. And if you realize that my fractions are a little too easy, then challenge yourself. Add mixed numbers, okay? And then the next thing that I have for you is a coordinate grid, quadrant 1. So down here, I give you some instructions, and I'm kind of wanting you to make a little treasure map of some sort, or I want you to turn this into a story. I want you to plot several points, and then I want you in a story to tell me how to find those points. It's basically what I want you to do. So, so yeah, kind of have fun with that one. Okay. Ooh, and this next page is a grocery shopping activity. We've done this. It was way back in probably September or October that we did this. This is working with estimation. You do this with your parents. They'll love to. Okay, so it's all explained on here. I'm not even gonna take your time to go over that. I also have some spelling words. So I included 2 weeks worth of spelling words. Don't try to do them all in 1 week. just start on this list for next week, the first one with the instructions, and I tell you what I want you to do on there. I want you to write the word in a sentence. I want you to find the definition, the synonym, ask your parent what the word means. So yeah, so you have 2 sets of those. Don't do them all in 1 week. Start with 1 set, okay? I also gave you some math fact practice ideas. This is the multiplication squares. Remember? Remember this? Make you this. I made it for Jackson and Carter today before I went to my classroom, and I got this. Okay? And play with a sibling or a parent. Okay? So yeah, this page just has a lot of ideas for how you can practice your multiplication facts. Now, the last 2 pages, this is your instructions, and this is the activity. So I actually made this. I'm super proud of myself, so don't judge it if it's not perfect. But I made a solve for X maze. So I'm kind of excited about it. I hope you love it. And I'm going to challenge you to make your own. So after you solve this, you know, and you're just like, oh, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do, make some of these. It doesn't have to be solve for X. It can be multiplying fractions. It can be anything you want. Remember, we did one that was adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So make some. It'll be cool. Okay, so here are the instructions. It's pretty self-explanatory once again, but if for any reason you don't understand how to do any of this, you can send me a remind. I'll figure out how to call you, talk to you, we'll get it figured out. Send me a message on our Facebook group. Or you can, if I'm unavailable for some reason, I shouldn't be, I'm going to make myself available to you. But if for some reason you can't get me, these websites, hopefully you can hear whenever I do that. These websites, coolmath.com and Math TV. Math TV is really cool. I kind of wish that I would have found it, it's kind of late, found it sooner. Okay, because we would have been using it all year. So, Math TV, you can kind of choose who you want. They like have 2 or 3 or 4 people to choose from, and you can watch their video on how to multiply fractions. So anyways, I encourage you to choose 1 sheet a day. Just choose 1 sheet a day. If you want to do more, that is fine. And if you end up needing more stuff, if you message me, I'll email you. I'll create more stuff. I'll do whatever. If you're wanting to work, I will create whatever you need. Okay. What else? I go a little fast, but my kiddos are used to that. I think that is all. I do challenge you though. This is my challenge. Any of these that you see on here, realize I created these, and y'all know I'm not very creative. I challenge you to create your own game or your own practice review game of some sort and share it with me. Even if you want to take a picture of it and your parents send it to remind, I would love to see what you're creating. Okay, that would be super cool. And that's higher order thinking, and it's not as boring as just a worksheet, right? So I think that that's all that I wanted to tell you about this packet. So if you're wanting it, you just need to email Miss Tracy so that she can send it via email or via snail mail. Okay? So I miss you all, and please let me know how it goes with all of this review. See you later.